Shit. No volume on the mic. Damn it. Fucked up. Is ominous music gonna keep playing? What happened? Oh, it's a new song, dude. Alright. I appreciate it. Let me know on the mic. No volume. The first one we've got here. Wait, is this the first one that's in the picture? I don't think it's the first one. The Mulberry Street one is. Wait, I got the Mulberry Street one, right? Oh, there it is. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street by Dr. Suess. So stupid, dude. I gotta turn this up just a little bit. Let me zoom it out a little bit. Make sure we get the full picture. And to think. Look at this little kid with his white privilege. His red shirt. His blue pants. Racist. How dare he walk down Mulberry Street? Is a white man. Alright, first page here. First page. How a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street grows into a story that no one can beat. Street? Beat? He's a poet. Henry. What's going on, True Crime? We got a racist guy parading around a donkey with a bucket on its mouth. How racist. And to think, I saw it on Mulberry Street. New York, the Vanguard Press by Dr. Suess. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, Marco, keep your eyelids up. See what you can see. But when I tell him where I've been, what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now what can I say when I get home today? White privilege. Oh, this one's kind of a... all the long way to school, and all the long way back. I've looked and I've looked, and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon. It's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. It's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling the cart. What a liar. Lies. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Oh, what? I can't watch the whole thing? Gotta download it? What the hell? Oh. No. We can't ever figure out about his zebra. For the next video, maybe we shall continue. But the next one here, Dr. Suess, if I ran the zoo, I guess we'll get 3 pages of this as well, or 6 pages. Look how ominous and dark this creature is. Racist. With his blue nose. What is he? A Crip? A Democrat? Surrounded by Republicans? Look at that thing down there. About people who are bald. How offensive. How dare. Need someone that could draw like Dr. Suess. The man is untouchable. Look into Freedom Tunes. Freedom Tunes does very well for himself. A channel on YouTube, Freedom Tunes. If I ran a zoo, it's a pretty good zoo, said young Gerald McGrew. And the fellow who runs it seems proud of it too. Gotta zoom in. But if I ran the zoo, said Gerald McGrew, I'd make a few changes. That's just what I'd do. Lions and tigers and that kind of stuff I have up there. Now they are quite good enough. You see things like these in just any old zoo. They're awful old-fashioned. I want something new. So I'd open a cage. I'd unlock every pen. Let the animals go. Start over again. And someone or other, I think I could find some beast of much more unusual kind. Damn it, dude, they just keep blocking me off. I can't keep reading the story. Next one, Dr. Suess. McElliot's Pool. A racist ass fish. How racist he is. Yellow. There's not yellow fish out there. Only red fish and blue fish. In McElliot's Pool. Oh wow, we don't even get to read any of that one, dude. I gotta look up all these books. Freedom! I think we could be able to read this entire one here. Because it's an actual little, oh yeah, okay. On zebra. On beyond zebra. Yeah, seriously. I'm surprised I was able to find as much as I did as fast as I was able to. I found PDFs, but I figured the pictures would look really cool with it as well, so I found those websites, but I did not look too far into them, and I should have looked a little bit harder. It used to be so easy. Yeah, that's what I thought. When I searched them, and I thought it would be pretty easy, so, I mean, but I was surprised at these books, as they were banned just recently, that they were as easy to find. Like, Google's not on their shit yet. I'm about to go to some thrift stores and buy the shit out of these books, because nobody's gonna be able to get it. And I'll read them in person, over and over, again. Dr. Suess is great. Go to thrift stores, is what I suggest. The people sorting through the books when they get them in. People are selling them on eBay for $450. You're kidding me. Damn it, dude. I gotta go tomorrow. Go check out all your thrift stores tomorrow. Roses are red, violets are black. What if Dr. Suess wrote his books smoking crack? I've been, you know, thing one, thing two. Alright, on beyond zebra. That's how he starts his book, said. Said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell, my very young friend who is learning to spell. The A is for ape, and the B is for bear. The C is for camel, and the H is for hare. The M is for mouse, and the R is for rat. I know all the 26 letters, just like that. Though to Z is for Zeba, I know them all well, said Cornelius O'Donnell O'Dwell. So now I know everything anyone knows from beginning to end, from the start to close, because Z is far as the alphabet goes. Why are they blocking out words, dude? This is dystopia we live in? Like, look at this guy. He's giving somebody a cigarette. Oh my god, dude. That's what it's come to? And then the one I couldn't find at all, the Cat's Quizzers. Or the Cat's Quizzer. Are you smarter than the Cat in the Hat? Are you smarter than a 5th grader, dude? This is fucking Cat in the Hat. This is not, Catcher in the Rye. Like, what are we doing here? Who is this helping? Like, yeah, if there's some controversy when you're reading this book to your kid and saying, yeah, it was a different time, well, that's information you should probably let your kid know before he goes out into a world and doesn't know anything about the past and the people that possibly were part of that past still living today. The most I've paid for a book in the past was in French, and I can't read French. Nice, dude. You should definitely learn how to read French. You can read that book. What book was it? Dude, we gotta find this book. The Cat's Quizzer has to be out there somewhere. This is the one they want to really block. Let's go DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo should have it, right? Damn. Oh. I get one page of it. Altavist search engine. Oh, Altavista. What do I search on? What the hell? Maybe I gotta zoom out. No. I don't know how to use this page. Damn it, dude. I can't get the full page of these ones either. Let's see, Mulberry Street I was able to find. Should be... Okay. Yeah, here we go. Alright, that's what we got up to. No, I'll restart it. And to think I saw it on Mulberry Street by Dr. Suess. Alta Vista got shut down. Fuck, dude. It's a good one. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's still going. Dr. Seuss, and to think I saw it on Mulberry Street when I leave home to walk to school. My father always tells me, Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can say. When I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now what can I say when I get home today? All the long way to school, all the way back. I've looked, and I've looked, and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. And that's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse? Fake news. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling the cart with Joe Biden. That is a story that nobody can beat. When I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw there was a charioteer, a golden blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, it won't do it all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer's better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute, there's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer in a sleigh. So anyone can think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane. She could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant? There's something strange. Say, that's a story nobody can beat. You know, when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now I don't know. Still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it in the air. Just like a kite. But he looks simply grand with a great big brass band. A band that's so good, should have someone to hear it. But it's going so fast, it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind. If a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I bet those wagons weigh more. They weigh more than a ton. It's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. But now, what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into bliss. Unless there's something I can fix up. Be an awful traffic mix-up. Takes police to do the trick. To guide them through where traffic's thick. Takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed. With Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. The mayor is there and he thinks it is grand. As he raises his hat. As they dash by the stand. The mayor is there. And aldermen too. All waving banners. Big banners of red, white, and blue. That is a story nobody can beat. And I say that I saw it. Mulberry Street. With the roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti. Everyone cheers? That makes a story. It's really not bad. But it still could be better. Suppose that I add. A Chinaman. It eats with sticks. A big magician doing tricks. A 10-foot beard man that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. I swung around the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great. For I had a story that nobody can beat. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool and tell me the sight's on. The way home from school. There's so much to tell. I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. Yeah, straight up racist, homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic, human-phobic, anything you could throw at this. That book is fucked up, honestly. That's one of the most fucked up books I've ever read. Can't have kids be reading that, are you kidding me? Some racist shit. Definitely a hate crime, if you ask me. Let's see if we can find this one. It was all good to me back in the day, kind of dark. Dude, it was a kid going through his imagination. And his dad telling him not to have an imagination. Oh. That's hilarious. Oh, is it gonna load it right here? Oh, dude, we actually got it. Alright. McElliot's Farm. McElliot's Pool. Written and illustrated by Dr Suess. Published by Random House New York. Them racist bastards. Young man, laughed the farmer, you're sort of a fool. You'll never catch fish in McElliot's pool. The pool is too small, and you might as well know it. When people have junk, here's the place that they throw it. You might catch a boot. Oh, you might catch a can. You might catch a bottle. But listen, young man. If you sat 50 years with your worms and your wishes, you'd grow a long beard long before you'd catch fishes. 'Cause you never can tell what goes on down below. The pool might be bigger than you or I know. An underground... Well, this might be a pool, like I've read in the books, connected to one of those underground brooks. An underground river that starts here and flows right under the passage, and then, well, who knows? Might go along down where no one can see, right under State Highway 203. Right under the wagons, right under the toes of Miss Umbroso's, who's hanging the clothes. It might keep on flowing, perhaps, who can tell? Right under the people in Sneeden's hotel, right under the grass where they're playing crochet, then under the mountains and far, far away. This might be a river, now mightn't it be, connecting McElliot's pool with the sea. Then maybe some fish might be swimming toward me. If such a thing could be, there certainly would be. Some very smart fellow might point out the way to the place where I'm fishing, and that's why I say, if I wait long enough, if I'm patient and cool, who knows what I'll catch in McElliot's pool. I might catch a thin fish, might catch a stout fish, I might catch a short or long, long drawn out fish. Any kind, any shape, any color or size. I might catch some fish that would open your eyes. I won't be surprised if a dogfish appears, complete with a collar and long floppy ears, racist, woofing along, and perhaps he might chase a whole lot of catfish, might straight to this place. I might catch a fish with a pinwheel-like tail. I might catch a fish who has fins like a sail. I might catch a fish with a long curly nose. I might catch a fish like a rooster that crows. Might catch a fish with a checkboard belly, or even a fish made of strawberry jelly. I might catch some young fish, some high-jumping fishers. I might catch an old one with long flowing whiskers. I might catch a seahorse, now mightn't I know? I might catch a fish who's partly a cow. Some fish from the tropics, all sunburned and hot, might decide to swim up. Well, that might not. Might they not? Racing up north, not a chance to get cool, full steam ahead for McElliot's pool. Okay, what the fuck is going on with this book? Why is it banned? Oh, it's okay. Some Eskimo fish from beyond Hudson's Bay might decide to swim down, might be headed this way. It's a pretty long trip, but they might, and they may. I might catch an eel. Well, I might. It depends. A long twisting eel with a lot of strange bends, and oddly enough, with a head on both ends. One doesn't catch fish like this. Catch this kind of fish as a rule, but the chances are fine. In McElliot's pool. It's literally the one word Eskimo. It burned the whole book. Might catch a fish with a terrible grouch. Or an Australian fish with a kangaroo pouch. Who wants to catch small ones like mackerel or trout? Say I'll catch a sawfish with a long snout that needs an assistance to help him about. If I wait long enough, I'm patient and cool. Who knows what I'll catch in McElliot's pool? Is that really all that it is? Some roughneck old lobster, all gristle and muscle, might grab at the bait that I would have to tussle. To land one so tough might take 2 or 3 hours, but the next might be easy, the kind it's like flowers. Yeah, so Aram, it's literally Eskimo. That's what's next, Edgar Allan Poe. I'm pretty sure that's all they banned this over. I mean, unless you're trying to say that there's not hope in fishing, that people shouldn't learn how to fish because you'll never catch anything. Like, with this guy having the willpower to say that there's anything possible, as long as he tries and puts effort for it, I guess that's a conservative kind of mindset. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just for that one word, though. And so stupid, dude. Thingamajigger? Maybe that's a bad word. Thingamajigger's not a good word. And that's why I think I'm not such a fool when I sit here and fish in McElliot's pool. Really? Ban it for one word. Can we make it into a different word? Like, you don't even need to have that there. Just put some Arctic fish. I guess, right? If that's the word that bans out the entire book. Dude's got some rhymes. He's talking about the fishing. A great lesson in life to be patient. Five Chinese brothers. I'll have to check it out. I'm gonna read next here, though. Let's see, what was this one? Come on, no. I ran from the zoo. Or no, if I ran the zoo. Wicked rhymes. It reminds me of Mr. Deeds. Again, a great movie about a guy who just wants to do good for him and the people around him. And dude had some wicked rhymes too. It reminded me kind of of Dr. Suess. If Dr. Suess never got famous and he just delivered pizzas. But wait, no, I can't say that because Dr. Seuss is racist. Bigot, xenophobe, homophobic, transphobic, racist. So, if I ran a zoo, let's see if we can find that one. Oh, that's one I went to. Oh, yes, we got it. How creepy the picture is, right? How racist and homophobic they are. Not? Yeah, completely sarcastic. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm not making that more apparent, but I can't believe it, man. That's why I gotta put the dark, ominous music. It was a great suggestion by Shirts. It's like, oh man. This is really what we've gotten to. I'll probably pull some clips out of it too, with the actually going into different stories. Little intermissions, kind of pull those out, but I just felt it was necessary. Alright. If I Ran the Zoo by Dr. Suess. Basically the same as The Sixth Sense or The Nightmare on Elm Street or The Last House on the Left. Look at this thing. It definitely represents death and murder. It's a pretty good zoo, said young Gerald McGrew, and the fellow who runs it seems proud of it too. I gotta zoom in. How do I zoom? Is there a zoom thing up here? No. But if I ran the zoo, said young Gerald McGrew, I'd make a few changes. That's just what I'd do. Damn it, dude, I can't read it. Oh, there we go. Why won't it let me scroll over now? What the fuck? I just have to read it like that. Alright, I'll restart it. It's a pretty good zoo, said young Gerald McGrew, and the fellow who runs it seems pretty proud of it too. This little kid. Little racist. Little racist kid. But if I ran the zoo, said young Gerald McGrew, I'd make a few changes. That's just what I'd do. The lions and tigers, that kind of stuff, they have up here now, not quite good enough. You seen things like these in just any old zoo. They're awfully old-fashioned. I want something new. So I'd open each cage. I'd unlock every pen. Let the animals go. Start over again. Somehow or another, I think I could find some beach of much more unusual kind. A 4-footed lion. It's not much of a beast. The one in my zoo will have 10 feet at least. 5 legs on the left and 5 more on the right. Then people will state and they'll say, what a sight. This zookeeper, new keeper, Gerald's quite keen. That's the gold darnest lion. I've ever seen. My new zoo, McGrew Zoo, will make people talk. My new zoo, McGrew Zoo, will make people gawk at the strangest old creatures that ever did walk. I'll get for my zoo a new sort of hen who roosts in another hen's top knot, and then another roost in the top knot of his, and another in biz of another in his, and so forth upward and onward, gee whiz. But that's just a start. I'll do better than that. They'll see next day in my zookeeper's hat, coming into my zoo with an elephant cat. They'll be surprised that they'll swallow their gum. They'll ask when they see my strange animals have come. Where do you suppose he gets things like that from? His animals have all such very odd faces. I'll bet he must hunt them in rather odd places. And that's what I'll do, said young Gerald McGrew. If you want to catch beasts you don't see every day, you have to go to places quite out of the way. You have to go to places no others can get to. You have to get cold and you have to get wet too. Up past the North Pole where the frozen winds squeal, I'll go out, I'll hunt in my Skeagle mobile. I'll bring back a family of what do you know, and that's my new zoo. McGrew Zoo will grow. I'll hunt in the mountains of Zumba Montant with helpers who all wear their eyes at a slant. That's why the book got banned right there. And capture a fine fluffy bird called the bustard, who only eats custard with sauce made of mustard, and also a very fine beast called the flustered, who only eats mustard with sauce made of custard. I'll catch him in caves, I'll catch him in brooks, I'll catch him in crannies, I'll catch him in nooks that you don't read about in geography books. I'll catch him in countries that no one can spell, like country of Matra, Falpata, Falpel, and a country like that's hunted and clever. He'll hunt up some beasts that you'll never saw ever. I'll load up 5 boats with a family of jotes whose feet are like cows but squirrel skin coats, and sit like dogs but have voices like goats, excepting they can't sing the very high notes. And I'll go down the winds of Nats and Tuck and capture a family of lunks and bucket. Then people will say, now I like boy heaps with his new zoo, McGrew Zoo, it's growing by leaps. He captures them in wild and captures them meek. He captures them slim and captures them sleek. What do I suppose he'll capture next week? I'll capture one tiny, I'll capture one cute, I'll capture a deer that no hunter will shoot. A deer that's so nice he could sleep in your bed if it weren't for those horns he has on his head. I'll capture one tiny, I'll capture one, oh, I just read that. And speaking of horns, they're just quite a bit queer. I'll bring back a very odd family of deer. A father, a mother, 2 sisters, a brother, whose horns are connected from one to another, whose horns are so mixed they can tell them apart, can't tell where they end, can't tell where they start. Each deer mighty puzzled. He's never yet found, and his horns are hers or the other's way round. That's another reason probably why I was banned right there. I'll capture them far, I'll capture them scrawny, I'll capture a scroggly foot McLarney, a high-stepping animal, fast as the wind from the blistering sands of desert of Zen. This beast is the beast that the brave chieftains ride where they want to go fast and find some place to hide. A Mulgari is fine for my zoo, and so is Chieftain. I'll bring back one too. In the far western part of the southeast North Dakota lives a very fine animal called the Iota, but I'll capture one who is even finer in the northeastern west part of South Carolina. When people see Big, they will say, now that by thunder, this new zoo, Magrusu, is really a wonder. Most beasts are quite friendly, but still in some lands, sinister beasts are too dangerous to catch with bare hands, for those are the ugly, vicious, and mean. I'll build a bad animal capture machine. It's rather expensive to build such a kit, and I'll go out and capture some chugs, some keen shooter, mean shooter, bean shooter bugs. A roo should have bugs, or a Jew should have bugs, so I'll capture a Thettle whose legs are snarled up in terrible snarl. I'll go to the African island of Yurka and bring back a Tizzletop tufted Mazurka, a kind of canary with quite a tall throat. His neck is so long he swallows an oat for breakfast. The first day of April, they will say. It has to go down such a very long way that to get down his stomach. The 15th of May. I'll bag a big bug who is very surprising. A fellow who has fofeller for rising and zooming around, making cross-country hops from Texas to Boston with only 2 stops. Now that sort of things for a bug is just tops. And then I've caught him. The next thing you know, I'll go and capture a wild tic-tac-toe with X's that win and zeros that lose. He'll look mighty good in the zoo of Magru's. I'll bring back Gusset, a gherkin of Gasket, and also a gooch from the wild of Nantasket. And 8 Persian princes will carry the busker with their names are, I don't know, so don't ask it. Al Cave of Canton lives a beast called the Natch that only one hunter's been able to catch. He's hidden for years in his cave with a pout, and one's been able to make him out, but I'll coax him out with a wonderful meal that's cooked by cooks in my cooker mobile. They'll fix up a dish that is just to his taste. 3 chicken croquettes made of library paste and sprinkled with peanut shucks pickled in spickle. They baked at 600 degrees and then iced. And it's mighty hard cooking to cook up such feast. Now that's how the new zoo, Magru Zoo, gets beasts. I'll go far away, mountains of tops near the river of Knopfs, and bring back ops, a sort of kind of thing, bops, who only catch rubbered and corn on the cobs. Then people will flock to my zoo and mops. Magru, they will say, does a wonderful jobs. He hunts with such vim, and he hunts with such vigor. His new zoo, Magru Zoo, gets bigger and bigger. And speaking of birds, there's a Russian Paluski whose head ski is red ski and belly and blue ski. I'll get one of them for my Zooski Magruski. Then the whole town will gasp why this boy never sleeps. No keeper forever kept what he keeps. There's no telling what that young fellow will do, and then just to show them, I'll sail a coup true and bring back an itch, a nurgle, a nerd, a prep, and a pru, and a sucker too. Then the whole town will gasp why the boy never sleeps, no keeper before ever kept what he keeps. There's no telling that the young fellow will do, and then just to show him, I'll sell a crew. I'll hunt the jungles and hippos no hungus, and bring back a flock of wild Bipnobungus, a Bipnobungus from Hypnobungus, or better those than Dipnodungus, and smarter than those out of Nibnonungus, and that's why I'll catch them in Hypnohungus instead of those in Nungus and Dungus, and people will say they see the Bips bounding, the zookeeper, new keeper, simply astounding. He travels so far that you'd think he would drop. When do you suppose this young fellow will stop? Stop? Well, I should, but I won't stop until I've captured a Fizna Wisna Mundo. That's the world's biggest bird from the island of Guac, who only cats pine trees and spits out the bog. And boy, when I get him back home from my park, the whole world will say Yamagru's made his mark. He's built a zoo better than Noah's whole ark. These wonderful, marvelously beasts he's chosen have made his greatest of all them what grosses. Yeah, Noah's Ark. That's gonna get you banned, dude. Can't be talking about Noah's Ark in the Bible. Wow, they'll all cheer. What this zoo must be worth. It's a legend. It's a something zoo on this face of the earth. And that's what I'll do. I'll make a few changes if I ran the zoo. Unity Deer Farms. Alright, let's see if we can find scrambled egg super. That'll be the last one here. Because I cannot find the cat one. What was it? The Cat's Quizzer. I can't find that one at all. No, that's what it said in the book. It said it was Noah's Ark. Oh. Nice, got it. Scrambled Egg Super by Dr. Suess. I don't like to brag and I don't like to boast, said Peter T. Hooper, but speaking of toast, and speaking of kitchens and ketchup and cake and kettlers and stoves and the stuff people bake, well, I don't like to brag, but I'm telling you, Liz. And speaking of cooks, I'm the best that there is. But only last Tuesday, when Mother was out, I really cooked something worth talking about. Can I zoom? No, I can't. Can I? Damn. Oh, you got it here. It's gonna zoom out. Yeah. Alright. We got it going on. No, yes. There we go, yep. Alright. Scrambled eggs super by Dr. Suess. I don't like to brag, I don't like to boast, said Peter D. Hooper, but speaking of toast, and speaking of kitchens and ketchup and cake and kettles and stoves and stuff people bake, well, I don't like to brag, but I'm telling you, Liz, that speaking of cooks, I'm the best that there is. Well, only last Tuesday, when Mother was out, I really cooked something we're talking about. You see it? I was sitting here, resting my legs, and I happened to pick up a couple of eggs, and I sort of got to thinking, sort of a shame. Scrambled eggs, they always taste the same. So I decided that just for a change, I'd scramble a new kind of range. New kind of egg on the range. Some fine fancy eggs that no other cooks cook. Like the eggs of the ruffleneck salamagooks. To make the best scrambled eggs that anybody's ever made, a cook has to hook the best eggs ever laid. So I drove to the country, quite rather far out, and I studied the birds that were flittering about. I looked with great care at a mop-noodled finch. I looked at a beagle-beaked, bald-headed Grinch. I also looked at a shade-roosting quail who was roosting right under a lassalack's tail. And I looked at a spurts in the flannelly-winged jay. But I didn't stop. I kept right on my way. 'Cause they didn't have eggs. They weren't laying that day. And suddenly, boy, up that hill a short space, birds! They were laying all over the place. Great, happy, gay families with uncles and cousins, all laying fine, strictly fresh eggs by the dozen. Happy gay? Maybe that's why they banned it. Why? I'd have a scramble more super than super scrambled eggs, super de duper de booper blah, special deluxe la Peter de Hooper. I went for the kind that were mellow and sweet. And the world's sweetest eggs are the eggs of the queet, which is due to those very sweet trout. Which I can eat. And those trout, well, they're sweet, 'cause they only eat wogs, and wogs, after all, are the world's sweetest frogs. And the reason they're sweet is, whenever they lunch, it's always the world's sweetest bees that they munch. And the reason no bees can be sweeter than these, they only eat blossoms of a hazelnut trees. And these hazelnut blossoms are sweeter than sweet. And that's why I nabbed several eggs from the queen. But I passed up on the eggs of a bird called a strudel, who's sort of a stork but with a fur like a poodle. For they said the eggs of this kind of stork are gooey like goo, and they stick to your fork. And the yolks of these eggs, I'm told, taste like feast, while the whites taste like very old bicycle grease. Eggs. I collected 302, but I still needed more, and then suddenly I knew that the job was too big for one fellow to do, so I telegraphed north to some friends near Fazul, which is 10 miles or so just beyond the North Pole, and all of them jumped in their katamasai, which is sort of a boat made of sea leopard's hide, which they sailed out of the sea to go looking for grice, which is sort of a bird which lays eggs on the ice, which they grabbed with a tool, which is known as a squish, because those eggs are too old to be touched without which. And while they were sending those eggs, I got a word. A bird that does something that's almost unheard of. It's hard to believe that these birds called the pelf lays eggs that are 3 times as big as herself. Now that pelf ever learned such a difficult trick, I never found out, but I found that egg quick, and I managed to get down out of the nest and home to the kitchen along with the rest. I needed more helpers, and so for assistance I called up a fellow named Ali Long Distance. And Ali, as soon as he hung up the phone, picked up a small basket and started alone to climb up steep crags and jags of Mount Struco to fetch me the egg of Mount Struco Cucuco. Now these Mount Struco Cucucos are rally small gals, but these Mount Struco Cucucos have lots of big pals. They dived from the skies with wild crackling shrieks, and they jabbed at his legs and stamped at his cheeks with their yammering, clamoring, hammering beaks. But Ali, brave Ali, he fought his way through, and he sent me the egg as I knew he would do. For my scrambled eggs, super duper, special deluxe Ali Peter de Hooper. And meanwhile, of course, I was keeping real busy collecting the eggs of 3 eyelash Tizzy. They're quite hard to reach, so I wrote on the top of a ham Ika Shima Ika Shama Ika Schnapp. Then I found a great flock of southwest facing cranes, and guess they've got something that's wrong with their brains. For this kind of a crane, when she's guarding her nest, will always stand facing precisely southwest. So to get those eggs wasn't hard in the least. I came from behind, precisely northeast. And I captured the egg of the Grickly Croctus, who lays them up high in prickly cactus. Then I went for the ziffs. They're exactly like zuffs. But the Ziffs on the cliffs and the Zuffs live on bluffs. And seeing how buffs are exactly like cliffs, it's mighty hard telling the Zuffs from the Ziffs. But I know that egg I got from the bluffs, if it wasn't a Ziffs from the cliffs, was a Zuffs. Now I needed the egg on a moth-watching sneth, who's a bird who's so big who scares people to death. And this awful big bird, well, the reason they name her the moth-watching sneth and cause, that's how they tame her. She likes watching moths, sort of quiets her mind, and while she is watching, you speak up from behind, and you yank out her egg. So I got one, of course, with the help of some friends and a very fast horse. If you want to get the eggs, you can't. You have to do things never thought of before. Why to get the egg from one very small dwarf, we had to pry all of one mountain top off. Then I heard some birds who lay eggs, if you please, that taste like the air and the holes in Swiss cheese. And they live in big Zanzibar trees, so I ordered a tree full. The job was immense, but I needed the eggs and said, hang the expense. I still needed one more, and I saved it for last. The egg of the fromful, bombastic, aghast, and that bird is so mean, and that bird is so fast, that I had to escape on a eager jest. A fleet-footed beast who can run like a deer, but looks sort of different. You steer him by ear. And you know how they tasted? They tasted just like, well, they tasted exactly just like the scrambled egg super-de-duper special deluxe a la Peter T. Hooper. It said dwarf and gay in that book. And that's what they banned it for. Are you kidding me? Sad, man. That's pretty intricate with the words there. Had me stumbling. It's a Dr. Suess book, but the rhymes, when you're trying to read them quick and comprehend what he's actually saying, it's like, wait, I gotta use different words, like, yeah. But dwarf and gay. Those are the words that got that book banned. They put happy and gay next to each other and then put in uncles and cousins, so maybe they were maybe implying a little bit more. But the dwarf thing, I mean, doesn't, like, on the World of Warcraft, you can be a dwarf or like a goblin. You get dwarfs in the Lord of the Rings. Like, are they gonna ban the Lord of the Rings? Isn't that the preferred term over midget? Oh my god. They literally banned it for the word gay. It's not even ideas. Because if you want to say hate speech, but hate speech, you could say a word, but that word has no meaning unless you actually put meaning behind it. So, these words have absolutely no meaning in their context. When you have a guy searching for eggs worldwide to make scrambled eggs, or a guy talking about bringing animals to a zoo, or a guy fishing, or oh my god. if you read those in rhyme, you'll be a rapper. Yeah, if you look at a lot of Eminem stuff, Marshall Mathers, he talks about it. Jay-Z does the same. A lot of them use very simplistic styles of rhyming, but with, again, like how kind of I was doing it, you know, you put the right tone behind it and you put the right beat, like no matter what you're saying, like you can kind of make a vibe out of it. So if like your vibe, that's kind of what their songs are more so about. Each one of their songs are dedicated to an idea, but that idea is very simplistic rhyming, almost based on child books. And it's amazing because it gets a point across very well. And with pictures, it does the same for children. And basically explore, do better, make sure you have the best possible, and capitalize on it. This is all books. Well, yeah, I think that will be it for tonight. How long has it been here? I can't even see because it's telling me that my YouTube is not eligible for live streaming. Streamlabs has banned me. Or I don't know if they banned me, but they logged me out, at least. They weren't happy. But I just basically bypassed them and said, screw it. I'll just pull up my own chat and my own viewer account. Or I don't even have the viewer count, so. But yeah. I hope you have a good night, everyone. As always, an even better tomorrow. Here in Mex, I appreciate you. I hope you get some good rest as well, buddy. But other than that, I'll catch y'all. Peace.